Today I just wanted to talk briefly about how I prepare for a destination wedding as far as what equipment I'm going to bring. The key is I need to have not only enough equipment to shoot a wedding, but also appropriate backup equipment, and it all has to be able to fit as a carry-on if I'm traveling by plane. So we'll start with just the simple thing is the cameras. If I have extra room, if I'm not traveling internationally, I'll usually bring a third camera with me, and that's just going to be a 35mm film camera. My other camera that I'm going to use, and I tend to shoot with two cameras at once, is a Canon 7D. What I like about this one, it has a really fast autofocus. It also has a fast frame rate, really good for capturing action shots. It also has a smaller sensor which magnifies the image a little bit, which is really good for getting images from a bit further back. Next is my 5D Mark II. This is a full frame camera. 22 megapixels, really nice for getting portrait type shots that I know are going to get blown up big. I also have my 24-70 lens on here. This is a pretty standard focal length. I like to think of it as my workhorse. Probably about 2/3 of the images I shoot at a wedding are going to be shot with this lens. Go ahead and pack that in there, right on top of one of the other cameras. I'll talk to you about some of the other lenses here. This is a 50mm 1.2. This is one of the fastest lenses Canon makes. Really good for low light, like at a reception, shooting in the evening. I've done portraits with this with nothing but candlelight. So it's a really, really nice lens, very sharp, useful for that kind of thing. The other lens I like to use a lot, I'm going to show you this one, is a 16-35. It's a wide angle lens. Great for receptions, also good for some of the more abstract shots you might see on the website. Next is the 70-200. This is a little bit longer lens. It's also image stabilized, f2.8. Really fast, really sharp. What I like this for is being able to isolate parts of a scene. So maybe I'll be, just a few feet away from a bride and just want to get maybe just her eye, a little bit of her face, that kind of thing. This allows me to take really small bits of the scene. Show some examples up on the screen for that. And then lastly is this little bit. This is these are extension tubes, and they go in between the lens and the camera. And what they allow me to do is use any of my lenses like a macro lens. This is really nice for getting detail shots, shots of the invitation, maybe shots of the couple's rings, things like that. Next are my lights. There's three types of lights I use, or three lights that I bring. I have 580EX flashes. This one's just a little bit newer model than this. Super powerful flashes. I bring two just in case one's messed up. I don't tend to shoot with flash a lot, but it's something that when a situation comes up where you need it, it's really nice to have. Okay, since we're talking about the flashes, the other thing I'll bring are these Pocket Wizard radio transmitters along with the accessory here, and they allow me to put the flash anywhere up to a few hundred feet away from the camera and trigger it with a radio signal. This is real nice if I want to be able to backlight something. Anytime I just want to get the flash off camera, it just makes for a little bit more flattering light. Also with the flashes, I bring these little diffusers, and all they do is soften the light up a little bit. The orange one allows me to use it inside and balance it with an indoor light source. Next, along with the film camera, when I bring that, also going to be bringing some film. Along with the flashes, bring extra batteries for those. Go right in there. Oh, and then in addition to the flash, I also use a flashlight quite a bit. This is nice to use for some of the more artistic shots I do, the things that are a little bit more creative. We want to cast some shadows, something like that. Even though it's just a flashlight, as you can see, it's really, really bright. Super easy to just toss in the bag and bring with me. Next are memory cards. We bring a lot, mostly 4 and 8 gigabyte cards. We bring in about 60 gigabytes worth of memory to each wedding I shoot. I'll just go in there. In the same bag, and I'm going to wear this on my person the whole day during the wedding, so I have access to my cards and then also spare batteries for the cameras. I always make sure those are good and charged before we go. Then I'll get zip shut stuck in here. One of the other things I like to bring, this is my camera strap. Instead of just using a standard neck strap, I'll bring this guy. And what this allows me to do is attach one camera from each side, puts the weight over my shoulders instead of my neck. Key when I'm shooting with two cameras for 10 to 12 hours a day. I'll just go right there on top. And last but not least, I also have an extra hard drive. I'll have a separate laptop bag as well, and I'll have a hard drive in there, but I always keep one of these in my camera bag. And we'll use that at the end of the wedding, get everything transferred on there, hopefully on location, so we have everything backed up before we even leave the venue. And that's pretty much it. That's how I pack for a destination wedding.